I don't. Yeah, and frankly, Pat, you know me and Adrian. I don't give a about that.
All right, let's welcome in Mike Garofalo. Mike, Aaron Rodgers as relaxed as always, but being a bit obtuse in that interview. What are you hearing about Rodgers and his future in Green Bay?
Well, MJ, what you've got here is Aaron Rodgers after the game talking about an uncertain future, and a lot of folks looking at that and saying, is that his way of saying that he wants out? But in today's interview, he kind of made it clear that he was more or less looking at the situation with the Packers, and a lot of guys have uncertain futures, and it was right after a disappointing game, so he almost alluded to the fact that he's realizing now basically his mortality in the NFL and realizing that it happens to everybody. No one beats Father Time. So that's what you've got from Rodgers. You've got the Packers that we are hearing want him back. So there's no indication that these sides are going to be splitting up in 2021. It was just more frustration, and Rodgers, again, realizing that Father Time comes for everybody at some point.
Mike, listen, the tea is hot when it comes to this. So I want to add in Michael Robinson, D'Angelo Hall, and Coach Brian Billick to the conversation here. But, Mike G., is the concern about Rodgers' future impacting the locker room at all?
Well, we had this discussion on Good Morning Football this morning, and my thing was Rodgers has always been the guy that players have looked to set the tone. Remember RELAX a couple of years ago when the team started off not so hot, and all of a sudden they turned it on, and everybody pointed to that speech and said that was the turning point of the season, where a lot of guys said, oh, okay, if he's confident, then the rest of us are going to be confident. Well, this was not real confidence. This was actually a bit of worry from the part of Aaron Rodgers. So I'll ask you, Mike Rob, what are your thoughts if you're a player in the locker room and all of a sudden you see Aaron Rodgers questioning how much longer he is for the starting quarterback job of the Packers, again, knowing that Jordan Love is there and was drafted in the first round?
Yeah, look, I can't imagine the Green Bay Packers allowing Aaron Rodgers to walk up out of that building after this season, okay? He had a great MVP-like season. But, as you guys know, I got a but there. But what's the point in having an MVP season if you get to the NFC Championship game and play like Aaron Rodgers played this past weekend? I'm sorry, I love Aaron Rodgers. I'm a fan of Aaron Rodgers. All of you guys know I constantly sing Aaron Rodgers' praises. I predicted he would probably win the MVP back in August. But when you have nothing but green grass in front of you, you're inside the red zone, and you can run for a touchdown. We've seen you do things like that before. You miss passes that we routinely see you hit in the most important game of the season. And I didn't know this until our researcher Kyle conveniently sent a great email before the show. Aaron Rodgers is the only quarterback in NFL history to lose 4 straight consecutive, whatever you want to say, NFC or conference championship games. And that tells me that, yeah, we pay our quarterback to be great, but he just hasn't been great in the biggest moments. So I'm not going to lie, I need to see more out of Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Matt LaFleur has something in this, too, for this loss. But, Aaron Rodgers, I'm sorry, man, you talk all that stuff all week and all year. I need to see you in the biggest moments in the biggest game.
But, M-Rob, isn't this more of an indictment on Green Bay? Just think about how more explosive this offense is if that #1 pick is spent on a receiver. If this #1 pick is spent on another guy to block for Aaron Rodgers. You saw how Tampa Bay was able to get all that pressure on him. And so, you know, I think the clock is ticking on Aaron Rodgers. At some point, Jordan Love is the guy. And so you hear Aaron Rodgers say some of those comments like, yes, nothing is for certain, because he understands that they've already drafted his replacement. We knew Aaron Rodgers was great. He didn't need to go out and get this MVP this season for him to tell me he was great. We already knew that. Yet, the Green Bay Packers still decided to go and spend a valuable first-round draft pick on Jordan Love. And now we're saying because Aaron Rodgers had an MVP season that Jordan Love's not going to play next year either.
And they won 13 games.
And so, to me, it's just a waste of draft capital.
All right, great points there from D'Angelo Hall, looking like the chairman of the board in that setup he's got tonight. Let's go now to Brian Billick, the coach. And Coach Billick, put yourself in Matt LaFleur's shoes, and he's already kind of addressed it and indicated that the team wants Rodgers back. How do you now handle this situation, knowing that it just took a little bit for folks starting to read into this one?
No, I think this is much ado about nothing. I don't think you can take anything that anybody says 48 hours after a gut-wrenching loss like that. It's emotional. Things are said. They're misconstrued. They're spun out of control. There's no way. Aaron Rodgers, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's not going anywhere. And let's spin it forward. Where would he go? He's not going to go in the AFC because you got to go through Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo to get to the championship. Where in the NFC? I think my guess is that they and maybe Tampa Bay, if Tom comes back, are going to be the top seeds in the NFC. He wants to win. If he wants to continue to play, and no indication he doesn't, what better place than Green Bay? They've got a good offense. He was as comfortable and as happy as we've seen Aaron Rodgers in years. They got to get better defensively. They've got to address those things and not waste a pick on a quarterback. I get that, but that might just be a little temper tantrum. That's okay. Let's go get the defense better and let's go do this again.
26 games in 2 years.
I hear you, Mike Robb. Great points, Coach. And some talk that Rodgers may have wanted a contract extension. No indication from his interview today that that's part of it. 3 years left on his deal. Tough to do an extension for him at this point anyway. MJ?
All right, Mike G and all the guys, the main point here is that the interesting part of those two interviews, post-game and then what we saw on the Pat McAfee show, Aaron Rodgers there sort of downplaying again in that second interview the speculation from the